What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Fantasy Football Game Show presented by Front Yard Fantasy. I'm your host, Simon, joined as always by my co-host, John Luke Garofalo. What's up, JL?
What up?
You doing all right this Tuesday? It's afternoon. I almost said morning.
I'm doing fantastic this Tuesday after morning.
This Tuesday after morning. Guys, joining us today to play some Fantasy Football Jeopardy. We've got two great friends. First up, we've got Eric Moody. He is a writer and analyst for the NFL, NBA, and WNBA over at ESPN. Moody, thanks so much for taking the time to join us today, my friend.
Oh, hey, always happy to hop on. Whenever I get the DM, it's like the bat signal in the air. And I'm like, hey, if I can make it happen, I'll be there. But things are great. Fantasy football playoff time right now, so that's exciting. But also on a personal note, I'm being very strategic with hiding holiday gifts from the kids right now. So if you have any ideas, I'm all ears, my man.
Ooh, where would kids not look? Do you have any ceiling tiles? You got any of like the drop-down ceiling tiles? That's where I used to hide my liquor in high school.
Cool boxes.
That's where I would hide my extra homework that I didn't want my parents to know about in high school. Is up in the ceiling tiles.
That's right.
Guys, also joining us today, Evan St. Brown is here on Twitter at FFEvanLucian. He is the host of the Dynasty Debates podcast and a writer and Superflex ranker over at Dynasty Nerds. Evan, thanks so much for joining us today, my friend.
Yeah, thanks for having me back. I'm glad to see you guys are still slumming it with the nobodies like me nowadays. Every once in a while, got all these famous people like Moody and all these really important people. So hey, I'm glad to be back, man.
No, you guys Moody are slumming it with us, showing up.
He is pretty
here.
Important.
We're all
both are
bowing down to Moody over here.
Wow.
Evan, do you have any places where Moody could hide presents for his children?
Just like Moody could hide.
Do you have any place Moody could hide?
I mean, you could always try like the dishwasher because I think kids are never going to look anywhere where there's like possible work to be done. So you could try, the dishwasher or, maybe like the clothes cupboard where like the dirty clothes are, things like that. They're kind of they're shy when it comes to work. So that always kind of works, I think.
All right. I'm taking some notes.
Moody, are your kids present hunters? Like, are they actively looking for the Christmas presents, or are you hiding preemptively? Because there's two different kinds of kids. There's the ones that look for them and the ones that don't. They want that surprise.
Yeah, I don't think they proactively look for it, but they just kind of stumbled upon something, so it kind of like piqued their curiosity. Like, ooh, what's this here? So just trying to get creative.
You know what you got to do, right? So here's what you got to do: just wrap the presents now and just put them under the tree. So they can just be tortured. They can see them. They know they're there, but they can't see what's inside them. And then you just get to enjoy them being tortured for the next couple of weeks.
That's
pretty good move.
That's the move.
Pro dad move.
And then if they open them, and they may think they're sneaky with the tape. They're going to see the little tape marks if they try to open them and squeeze them out over there.
Oh, yeah.
We got some people in the chat ready for today's show. Grim fan in here says, are my comments there? No, they're not. They're gone. I can't see them, but I'm hoping.
Can't see a thing.
I can see
I'm hoping what your comment said, Graham, was that you did not play the Buccaneers or the Titans as your guillotine or as your Survivor League team, and that you changed it to another team that in fact won and you're still alive is what I'm hoping your comment said. Dale, you have the comment. You can see it.
I can see it. He said in the last second move here, I'll just pull it up actually. In the last second move after some thoughts, the Panthers have kept me alive in the Survivor League, and I'm now guaranteed a third place prize value of $500 cash. I'm one of 3 people left perfect in my pool. So he switched from Tennessee or Bucks to Panthers. Is that what happened?
That's what happened, I guess. He switched over to the Panthers, so now he's got the Titans and the Bucks left. He's a Survivor League genius.
7-dimensional chess here. Yeah. I'm considering going with the Raiders this week.
Advice.
You should. The Titans next week, the Bucks in 2 weeks, and the Browns in the final week to finish the season in that exact order and win my league. Thoughts?
The Raiders. Who are they playing this week? I think they got the Patriots,
Pats,
right?
They're the Pats, man. Like Bill Belichick's just gonna like take him to school. He knows every trick up Josh McDaniel's sleeve. He's just gonna like absolutely pull a master class. Like, I'm not excited about the Raiders this week personally.
Man, but their matchups, like, you're not playing them against the 49ers, you're not playing them against the Chiefs. And if you're going for that perfect season, you only got a couple teams left.
Go big or go home, I guess.
This week or next week, right? That's what I'm thinking.
You gotta follow your heart,
right there.
You gotta follow your heart.
We got Damon here. Hi, FYF dudes. What's up, Dame? Welcome in.
Dame?
And Albert in here as well. Welcome in, Albert. Glad to see you here. Mr.
Alberto.
Scamper said, hey, hi, hello.
I'm just talking to Scampers.
Like that? Just meowing at Scampers?
Just like that. Yeah, that was me doing that. Meow.
And we got Carlos in here, the Javante Liverstone. Yeah, that's what JL stands for, in case you didn't know. Jay also saying he's in here looking for ideas to hide presents because his kid's already found 2 of them.
No.
2 of those presents.
I'm telling you, wrap them up, put them under the tree.
That's the move. And Jay said, to nobody's surprise, my kids are present hunters. Yeah, I would have guessed that right there. We got George in here. It said made the playoffs, but lost half my starting roster. Pretty much gunning on Mike Evans to show out and Jamal Williams to put the TD Vulture costume back on. Moody, Jamal Williams has kind of stunk the past couple weeks. Are you expecting him to bounce back in the fantasy football playoffs?
Yeah, no, I am expecting him to bounce back, and I like a lot of the Lions matchups, and especially we consider how Jared Goff has performed at home compared to on the road. Perhaps it would be a good idea to lean, I would say just more on the running game. I'm thinking about rankings. I did that this morning for ESPN.com. I believe I've got Jamal Williams in PPR formats, really as a kind of like a mid-range RB2, so I do like him a lot this week.
Evan, on the other side of this question, Mike Evans has been disappointing for fantasy managers. Are you expecting a bounce back for Mike Evans in Tampa Bay?
Oh, man, it is tough sledding at the minute. Mike Evans has been so frustrating, so disappointing. I mean, they got Cincinnati this week, so hopefully, fingers crossed, there'll be points, going up on both sides. I know Cincinnati's a bit banged up as well. They're probably out Tyler Boyd, possibly out T. Higgins as well. So, man, it's scary. But I think when you get to the playoffs, you just can't overthink it either. I think you just got to go with your studs, because if you did bench Mike Evans and then he goes off for like a 40 burger, you're never going to forgive yourself. And your league mates will never let you forget it either. So that's even worse.
I'm with you. It's the don't get cute in the playoffs rule. Just don't get cute. Lose with your guys. But I know people like to play with fire sometimes. They get out there and they get cute with the matchups. And I've seen people win that way. I can't do it. I don't have the cojones to like bench a guy like Mike Evans for someone with a good matchup that's maybe a couple tiers lower. Guys, we brought you here today, Evan and Moody, to play a game that we call Fantasy Football Jeopardy. Throughout the game, if you guys have questions in the chat, throw them in there. We're going to get to each and every one of those questions while we're playing today. But I wanted to make sure that we have time to get this game started. Before we get in there, though, a couple reminders. If you are not already following our guests, go and fix that right now. You can find Evan on Twitter at FFEvanLucian. You can find Moody on Twitter at Eric N. Moody. The names are right there below their handsome faces on the screen. So easy to find, easy to type in. And they're right there in the description of this YouTube video as well. If you just want to click on it and go over there and follow them.
Click on it. Do it.
Click on it. Do it. And then after you do that, come back over here. Hit the subscribe button on our channel. It's the easiest way to show your support for what we're doing, and make sure you never miss any of our shows when we're going up live. You never know when we're going to pop up. Sure, we have a schedule.
Any moment.
Could be any moment. 2 a.m., I could be screaming in your ears about Fantasy Football Jeopardy.
We're live.
Before we get into this game, Born to Laugh had a question for us. Wants to know, does T.Y. Hilton have any value as a roster stash or a play now that he's signed with the Cowboys? So, Evan, I'll throw this one to you. Do you have any interest in T.Y. Hilton with this news that he's signing with the Cowboys?
Probably not, to be honest with you. I mean, like Gallup has been there for ages, and even he is really hit or miss at the minute, as far as like whether you can trust him in your lineup. Honestly, I'm not excited about T.Y. Hilton unless you play in like a 32-team league and you have about 14 roster spots. But other than that, I'm not looking to scoop him up.
Moody, do you agree? Are you letting T.Y. Hilton sit down there?
Yeah, no, I agree. It's I know why they signed him. You look at the Cowboys and like they rank 20th, like with 215.2 passing yards per game. So they do need an additional body. But I'm like, you think of Hilton last season, he only played 10 games, just had 23 receptions for a little bit over 300 yards and a couple of touchdowns. So I just don't think he's going to have much of a fantasy impact. But hey, it was a nice run. I'm like, he was the number one guy for Indianapolis for most of his 10 seasons in the league. He had like a stretch where he had like 1,000 or more receiving yards in like 5 or 6 seasons. So it was impressive. But he's not that same player.
No, I'm with you guys.
Yeah.
We got Toronto Dave in here. What's up, Dave? Welcome in, my friend. Glad to have you here.
Dave.
Man.
Absolute dog.
Dave is a dog.
Absolute dog.
I'm going to go ahead and pull this game board up, guys. I randomly determined the order before the show started. Evan, you are going to be going first. Moody, you are going to be going second. JL is going to be going third. And the game we're playing is Fantasy Football Jeopardy. How this works is if you've seen the popular TV show Jeopardy, it's very similar to that. except instead of buzzing in, players are going to be going in turn order. When it's your turn, you let me know which category, which point value you would like to answer. Get the question right, you're going to add that to your score. Get it wrong, we're not subtracting anything. And you don't need to answer in the form of a question unless you're a Jeopardy purist and it would bother you to your soul not to, at which point feel free to answer in the form of a question. One of the rule change that we have compared to the regular TV show is if you get your question right, you will get to choose the category for the person that goes after you. So Evan, you're going to have free reign of the board to start this game. Get your first question right, you're going to get to send Moody to whatever category you want him to answer a question on, so on and so forth. If the person in front of you misses, you got free reign of the board again. Whoever has the most money. Oh, go ahead, Evan. What's up?
I was going to say, I just have 2 questions. Like, 1, what are the categories? What do they mean? And 2, Moody, which one do you think you would like the least?
Yeah, Moody, and he asked this with the purest of intentions, so you can always be honest.
Yeah, just trying to be a good player,
like
good team player.
Once we get through this board, run out of time or run out of questions, we will go to our final Jeopardy question. I'll give you the category for that, and you guys will write down your wager. That is the one and only question where you can lose money during this game, because afterwards you will answer it, get it right, you'll add that money to your score. Get it wrong, we're subtracting it, and the contestant with the most money is our champion. Our categories for today: we've got odd one out. I'm going to give you a category, something like the quarterbacks who've thrown them, or quarterbacks who have thrown at least 20 passing touchdowns this season. All of the names there will fit in that category except for one. I need you to tell me the one name that does not fit the category. Aligned alma mater. I'm going to give you a list of NFL players that all went to the same college. You just got to tell me the college that they went to. So all of them played football at the same school. Grab bag, this could be anything, literally anything. Easy as 1, 2, 3. I'm going to give you the criteria and 3 players or teams. You rank them for me. Put them in order based on the criteria that I gave you. And then a movie in a few words. JL had a much better name for this category thought up, but I forgot it and named it exactly what it is. I describe a movie very poorly in just a couple words. You tell me what movie I'm talking about. Evan, you are up first. You got free reign of the board. Where do you want to go?
This is tough. I almost said what I really don't want, but then I remembered Moody might be listening, so I'm not going to say that. I'm going to try a movie in a few words.
What point value would you like?
Let's go 200. Let's hopefully get a nice easy win to start the game off with.
Okay, 200.
Smart.
A young woman and her dog make 3 unique friends on their journey to get back home.
Oh no, this is going to be a long game. A young woman and her dog make 3 unique friends. Oh dear. Home.
I'll give you about 10 seconds. What's your answer?
Home.
I'm sorry, it is the Wizard of
Wizard of
Oz.
Oz.
Dorothy
Wow.
and Toto make friends with the Scarecrow,
that is
the
old
Tin
school.
Man, and the Cowardly Lion to
I-
find their way back.
I had no idea. My mind was completely blank. I was like, what are we talking about here? I was trying to think if it was going to have like some fantasy football implications, and I'm thinking, whoa, this has thrown me so big time, but fair play. I do not get to pick your category, Moody.
And this
Yeah, that
category
was-
has
yeah,
nothing
that
to do
was a
with
tough
fantasy football.
That was a tough one. I was scratching my head on that. I was
Forrest
like,
Gump.
wow.
Oh, it was so close.
Dave guessed Forrest Gump in the chat. Grim Fan and Ladarius both getting Wizard of Oz, and then Mr. Scamper so close with Scarface.
Young
that
winner
was
dog.
That was very close. And we got Andrew in the chat saying, "What up, boys? Finally able to watch my friends
What
live.
up,
Welcome
Andrew?
in, Andrew. Welcome in, my friend."
Good to see you.
Before we move on to our next question, Beat Ups had a question for us. Said thoughts on Andrew. Thinking of picking up Ingram. So I assume not Andrew Elmquist, who just came in the chat. I'm assuming Mark Andrews here.
Yeah.
Moody, what are your thoughts on Mark Andrews as we head into the playoffs? And would you be starting Evan Ingram over him after that 15 target week?
Yeah, that is an intriguing question. My gut is saying I would just stick with Mark Andrews. Because he's going to be the main target in the passing game. Ingram, had a phenomenal game last week, but I just have some concerns, I'd say, with the schedule. So not the Cowboys, but the Jaguars have the Cowboys, Jets, and Texans, I believe. So suboptimal in terms of looking at him as a streamer, but if you don't have someone like Mark Andrews or Travis Kelce, then absolutely insert Evan Ingram there. So,
Evan, are you agreeing? Would you roll with Mark Andrews, or are you tempted to throw Ingram in there?
Oh, this is what we just talked about, isn't it? Like we're like, you guys
right?
with your studs,
It
and then
is.
like the very first question, we're like, well, you make an intriguing point. So I think you probably, I mean, it's, oh yeah, I mean, you would just, again, you would kill yourself if Mark Andrews, like sitting on your bench, gets like 3 touchdowns or something. What are they playing? Cleveland this week? It's
Then Atlanta, then Pittsburgh.
Oh, man, it's tough. I would probably go Andrews, but it's been really crappy with Lamar getting beat up and in and out, and then going down to the third string quarterback. I think if they're rolling with like the third stringer, I might flip it and go Evan Ingram just for hopefully the upside. But yeah, I mean, I haven't heard, is Lamar hopefully playing this week?
I don't believe that he will.
I don't think he is. Yeah.
So it's Huntley that's trying to get through the protocol. So
Yeah.
I think it's a good chance that Huntley will end up clearing the protocol to play because it was crazy in that last game whenever Huntley went out. I'm like in the fourth quarter I think they called like just design runs. Like it was on a high percentage of plays. They were afraid of having a third quarterback go down. So
yes.
So if Huntley's there, I'm like you got to go with Andrews, right, Evan? I'm like,
yeah, I mean, I'm a fellow Evan, so I kind of lean my allegiances are slightly torn here for Evan Ingram. But yeah, no, I mean, I think if it's a semi-competent quarterback, I would probably have to lean Mark Andrews. I mean, he's just such a stud.
Yeah.
Joe, you lean in Andrews as well here?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm leaning Andrews. If it's third string, I would maybe give a look to Ingram, but I'd be picking him up either way.
Moody, it is your turn in this game now. Unfortunately, Evan missed that first question, which means you've got free reign of the board. Are you going to follow him into a movie in a few words, or are you taking a different category?
I will take a different category. I am going to go with odd one out. So we'll do 300. We'll kind of go in
300, odd one out.
Yeah.
So the category is top 5 scoring PPR tight ends after week 14. So this is through the season up to week 14. The names I'm giving you are George Kittle, Travis Kelce, Pat Freiermuth, and Evan Ingram. Which one of these is not a top 5 PPR tight end at this point in the season?
It was not a top 5.
Can I answer this question instead?
Which one is not? That is difficult. You got Evan Ingram with this crazy performance. I'm gonna go with since he's so up and down. I'm gonna go the one that doesn't belong. Would end up being that's the one that doesn't belong, right? George Kittle?
You're asking me the one that doesn't belong. George Kittle, final answer?
Yes.
Okay. And you are correct. George Kittle is the PPR tight end 8. I got nervous you were going to switch it there for a second. Travis Kelce 1.
I was hoping.
Evan Ingram 4 and Pat Freiermuth 5 right there. Kittle's been relatively disappointing for fantasy. Now Brock Purdy's in. Moody, I'll throw this one to you first. Are you expecting more from Kittle in these playoffs? Or if you've got Kittle as your tight end, are you looking elsewhere on the waiver wire?
Yeah, I would just continue to go with Kittle, like we were talking about, kind of start your guys. What kind of threw me off on this one, because I was trying to differentiate between standard and PPR, so that's where I was really hesitating. But I'm like, if you got Kittle, I'm like, you got to end up sticking with Kittle, especially with Deebo Samuel not really going to be around for the fantasy playoffs, at least for most of it. Could come back and say week 17. It's just he's going to have to get more involved in the passing game, along with Brandon Ayuk and Christian McCaffrey. So I'd stick with Kittle. Because you don't want him going boom on your bench where he could provide you a week-winning performance at a position where there's very few difference makers. So
I hate when Kittle booms on my bench. It just
ruins
the
it's
whole
the
week.
worst.
God, it's so messy. He's so big. You just get these giant booms from Kittle on your bench. It's a problem. The chat was on this one. Grim fan Kittle, Adarius Kittle, Mr. Scampers with Georgie, Carlos with Kittle, Albert with Kittle. Nice job, guys, getting that one. And nice job, Moody. It's going to add 300 to your score, and you get to pick JL's next category. Where are you sending JL?
We're going to send him to a movie in a few words. That was fun.
Ooh, I like that one a lot, actually. Let's go with 400.
400 for a movie in a few words. A dad has to go pick up his daughter from Europe.
Taken.
This is Taken,
Nice.
JL. A dad has to go pick up his daughter from Europe.
Oh, I see how it is. He gets a recent movie. I get one from 1934.
You're
That
right.
was so
Taking
To be
the
to
cinematic
be fair,
classic.
I feel like this one could have been a lot of things.
I know it's so much with that movie. You got Liam Neeson. I'm like, he's kind of made a second career off of that movie. I'm going to play an ex special forces, ex vigilante task with protecting someone or returning someone that was kidnapped. So there you go.
Typecast
great.
straight into that archetype.
I know, right?
I thought that one was really hard, and apparently it was not. Everyone in the chat getting that one. Ladarius, Mr. Scampers, Grim Fan, and JL getting that one as well. Meaning you're going to get 400
That was a good
points, JL.
That was good.
And you get to pick Evan's next category. You sending them back to a movie in a few words, or you sending them somewhere else?
Let's send Evan to Aligned Alma Mater.
Aligned alma mater. What
hate
value
you,
would you like,
right.
Evan?
That's literally the one I was like, I do not like this one at all. I'm terrible about remembering people's colleges. Like, I can never remember where players played. I'll take
too.
alma mater for 100 because I hope you give me like a super easy one.
Aligned alma mater for 100. T. Higgins, DeAndre Hopkins, Mike
Clemson.
Williams, and Sammy Watkins. Final answer?
Yep.
Wide receiver U. It is Clemson.
Yeah, they
baby.
did.
Nice job, Evan. It's going to give you 100 points. And
Yes.
right after you talked down
On the
how bad
board.
you were at it, you came in and got that one right, and you get to pick Moody's next category.
Oh, I'm gonna go with the grab bag. Throw Moody in the grab bag, see what he gets.
Grab bag.
Before,
All right, I'm gonna
before you
go
go
with-
on to that,
I'm
Mr.
gonna go
Scamper
with,
said he has a special set of skills,
That's
and it's
funny.
that role.
It really is. It's like all
Northern
of his movies
Ireland
after
legend
that.
Liam Neeson. Thank you very much.
Liam Neeson. Is he Northern
Shout out
Ireland?
Northern Ireland.
Yeah, he's from
Is that true?
Ballymena.
Oh,
I didn't know that.
I did not know that
Yeah.
either.
I'm going to add that to my fun fact repertoire. Every time someone says Liam Neeson, I'm going to say shout out Northern Ireland for the rest of my life.
Yes.
He's going to. He's not lying.
Respect.
Moody, which point value would you like in grab bag?
I guess I'll stick with 300. Keep the trend going. So
Sticking with 300.
trying to remember how this category goes, but let's dive in.
I forget what this question is, so let's
Yes.
find out. Which of the following is not a U.S. territory? American Samoa, Northern Mariana Islands, Cayman Islands, or Puerto Rico? Which one of these is not a U.S. territory?
It's not. I
You
don't
leave
know,
odd
man.
one out, and you still get stuck with an odd one out question.
Yeah, no, it is. Northern Mariana Islands?
Final answer?
Yeah, I'll go with it. I'm at a loss here, so I'm going to guess.
I'm sorry, it is the Cayman Islands, which are a British territory. All the rest of these are U.S. territories.
So
We had some people
Wow.
in the chat getting that one. Andrew, Cayman Islands. Dustin, Cayman Islands. Grim Fan, Cayman. Scampers with Cayman as well. And Ladarius.
Oh.
Shout out the geography nerds in the chat.
Right.
No
Yeah,
one,
I mean, it's easy when you're not on
Impressive.
camera.
Had no idea.
Evan's
It's like
just
when you're
calling
sitting at
everyone
home
straight
watching
up
the show and you're
cheaters
like shouting at the screen, like, come on, what are you doing, you idiot?
every time, whether you're watching football.
And then when you're on it, you're like,
Jeopardy.
Judge Judy.
Yeah, I'm always yelling
Family
at Judge
Feud.
Judy. Family Feud's the number one for that, isn't it? Like that is
Oh,
the
I know.
number one because you just get one shot to say an answer, and if
And
it's
then they go with
it's
some stupid answer like nipple, and you're like, what? Why'd you go with nipple as your favorite chip? That doesn't make sense. They always do it.
Well, John Luke, the answer to your main question may just be nipple, but you're gonna have to pick it to find out. Where would you like to go? The board is yours.
Let's go for a movie in a few words for 300.
Okay. And Grimfin in here said, "Come on, Simon, give us a challenge." Well, let's see. 300 for a movie in a few words. Maybe this is the challenge. A young woman tries to find her sister because it got really, really cold.
oh, come on.
Frozen.
Final answer?
Yeah.
It is Frozen, and Evan is getting more and more pissed with every single a movie in few words that shows up on the screen.
This is some sort of conspiracy here. We're giving JL the softballs here. We're giving him just these little like just lobs.
Those little lobs. That's what they call me.
Well, JL, you're going to get the points for that one, and you get to pick Evan's next category. Before you move on to that, though, we had some questions in the chat that I wanted to answer. And JL, you got boots on the ground in Baltimore, so I wanted to ask you this one first. What about Dobbins? Can I play J.K. Dobbins against Cleveland? So he came back from injury, didn't quite look 100%, but had a good fantasy game. Are you confident starting him in that matchup?
Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw, but he actually tweeted out that he is not like he's agrees with everybody that he is not 100%. He doesn't feel 100%, but does not mean you cannot play him. I'm still loading up J.K. Dobbins. Cleveland is a very porous run defense, and they gave J.K. Dobbins 15 carries last week, meaning that's a pretty strong signal that they are not too worried about Dobbins. So I'm starting Dobbins with confidence. I wouldn't worry.
Evan, are you in agreement here? Are you starting Dobbins with confidence, or maybe a little bit more concern on your end?
No, absolutely. I mean, I think last 6 weeks, the Browns have given up like the 4th most fantasy points to the running back position. We know the Ravens love to run it. I'm all aboard the J.K. Dobbins hype train for the playoffs.
Choo choo. We had another question from Carlos come in here. Carlos wanted to know, can I start Mike White over Tua? I really don't want to start Tua. So Mike White's got the matchup against the Detroit Lions this week. Moody, would you be making that switch? Would you be starting Mike White over Tua Tagovailoa in week 15?
Tua's got the Bills, isn't he?
I believe, yeah, he's got the Bills in 20-degree weather, snow expected. Mike White play in Detroit.
Yeah, you know what? It's like on the surface, you're just thinking, okay, well, hey, just automatically start Tua. But we've seen how the last 2 weeks has gone, and depending on the roster that you have built around your team, if you're looking at these two at quarterback, it may sound crazy, but I'd consider it because you look at that Lions defense, and like they just allowed Kirk Cousins to have a season high 25 fantasy points. So it may sound crazy when you hear it, but I'd start Mike White over Tua.
Yeah,
John
I don't think it's that crazy.
You're following suit here? You throwing Mike White in there over Tua?
Yeah, it's not a big margin. I wouldn't say like he's a must start over Tua, but I don't think it's crazy at all, Moody. I think it's a totally normal thing here with this, especially given the matchups.
Exactly.
Evan, I want to get your take on this because I feel like this is a contentious one. It doesn't feel right to say.
I just have to say, like, the absolute stones you would have to sit to it on your bench and roll Mike White out in the first week of the playoffs. I mean, a dude who was like 3rd string coming into the season, it is fantasy football. You got to go with the hot end, but man,
I say Moody and I have stones.
Tua could absolutely make you just regret that so much. But yeah, I get it. It is a tough matchup. And to be fair, Mike White, I mean, he got beat up a lot though. You know what I mean? He was in and out of the game. It's a tough one. Like, I really like Tua. I think he's been great. Yes, he's had a couple of bad weeks, but I sort of trust them to get it figured out here. And yeah, I mean, I don't hate it. Like, I mean, you can go with Mike White, but man, that would be tough. That would be tough, especially if you have one or two stacking, buddies there, Waddle or Tyreek Hill. That would be really nice to have out there.
Yeah. The lineup, the roster, overall roster is important with this. Like, if you need floor or if you need ceiling, so it's
that's a really good point. Yeah, if you're in that and you're going up against the heavy hitter and you're sort of like needing the boom, then yeah, that could really influence how you choose here.
All right, I don't want to take us too far down the rabbit hole, but I must say this. Like, I just love how Mike White has he's rallying this team. Like, where the lineman Connor McGovern said, Mike White is like the epitome of what hopefully everyone in this locker room is willing to do to win. So when you've got guys rallying behind you like that in this matchup, I'm like, they're going to fight and claw to get a W. So I just really like Mike White this week. So.
Coop brought up the story. It's my favorite Mike White story where his girlfriend, like in the stands, looked at him and said, "Who are you?" to Mike White after one of those wins at a game. Because can you imagine you're the person you're dating, the person you're with is like the 3rd string quarterback. Maybe they'll get a start at some point, and they get in there and now literally the whole team's wearing Mike, MF, and White shirts, and they're talking you up to the media and saying like, "This is what a leader is. I would go to war for this man." Like, there's players on that team saying things like that.
Did you guys watch Don't Look Up? That movie on I think it's Netflix with Leonardo DiCaprio and Katniss Everdeen, but Leonardo DiCaprio's character in that is like this nerdy scientist teacher who becomes like the face of this big like apocalypse. And then he just becomes a celebrity. He starts going on all these TV shows. He leaves like his Midwestern wife. And he starts getting this side hoe who's basically one of the anchors on the shows. And I feel like that's what's happening to Mike White right now. He's going through that transformation.
Yeah, I watched that movie and like an hour and a half in, I was like, what the hell is happening? And then I looked and there was still like an hour left of the movie. And I was like, there's no way they can fill the rest of this movie. But they did. It was pretty funny. We're going to move on to our next round here. I see some more questions in there. We will get to those. No worries. Evan, JL got that one correct, I believe. He was the last person to go, which means he gets to select your category.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Let's go to odd one out.
Odd one out. Which point value would you like, Evan?
Oof. I am lagging behind here, so let's go for 500. Let's just see what happens. Let's roll the dice.
500. Here we go. Players who have missed at least 3 full games this season. So one of these players has not missed at least 3 full games. Who is it?
Ooh, okay. Dawson Knox. I don't
Final
remember him
answer?
missing 3 full games. Yeah.
It is Dawson Knox. He's only
Nice.
missed 1, but looking at his stats, you might think he's missed more than 1. David
Back in the
Njoku
game.
and Corey Davis each with 3. Jamar Chase missing 4. And Evan, that launches you right up to second place. One $500 question, and we are rolling again.
Love it.
We had some
Go
guesses
big or
in the
go home.
chat. Andrew came in with Chase, and then Grim Fan, Ladarius, and Dustin all with Knox on that one. Nice job, guys. And Evan, after getting that one right, you get to pick Moody's next category.
Man, let's see. What would Moody hate? Let's just go with nobody's picked easy as 1, 2, 3. Let's go with that.
Moody, what point value would you like?
So how does this category go again? It's like you.
So it's going to give you like a criteria and then 3
okay.
players or 3 teams, and you put them in the order that I ask you to. 1, 2, 3. You're going to rank 3 things.
Okay. All right. Let's just get nuts like Michael Keaton and Batman '89. Let's go 500.
500. Here we
Oh.
go. Put the following teams in order from best to worst in the following
Okay.
category. Odds to win the Super Bowl. And this is according to FanDuel Sportsbook. So the best odds, meaning the most likely to happen, will be first. The worst odds, meaning the least likely to happen, will be last. The 3 teams that I need you to put in order are the Miami Dolphins, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the San Francisco 49ers.
Okay. All right. So odds to win. So best odds first, right?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Best odds first. Okay. Let's see. Dolphins. Wait, best odds to win Super Bowl. All right. The Dolphins have kind of faltered here over the last 2 weeks. So I would say 49ers, Dolphins, then the Bucks from best to worst.
Final answer?
Decisions.
I love Moody's second guessing of himself.
I'm struggling this go around. I'm struggling. Yeah. Just go with 49ers, Dolphins, Bucks. Yeah.
49ers, Dolphins, Bucks.
Yeah.
We had some
We'll
answers
see.
in the chat, and most people are agreeing with you. 49ers, Dolphins, Bucks. Grim Fan, though, going Miami, Niners, Bucks. Ladarius going Niners, Dolphins, Bucks, agreeing with you. Mr. Scamber said Niners, Fins, Panthers, Bucks, throwing another one in there. Albert said 49ers, Dolphins, Bucks, and you got another 49ers, Dolphins, Bucks. Well, the correct answer is... Go ahead, Jay. What would you have gone?
I would have gone 49ers, Bucks, Dolphins. Reverse order.
Well, let's see who's right. It is the 49ers, the Dolphins, then the Buccaneers. I thought the Buccaneers would be the tricky one in there, given their division. They're the most likely one to make the playoffs between them and the Dolphins. The Dolphins got some work to do.
That's a tough one. That's tough.
Moody, you got it. You saw right through the trick. That's going to earn you $500
to me.
onto your score right there.
Well played.
Oops. Minus 500 for Jay Allen.
Sweating on that one, gents. Like, seriously. Because you're right. It was tricky. It was very tricky because of the, especially with how the Dolphins have faltered. Because they were, just think about what we thought about the Dolphins like 3 weeks ago, right?
And then the Niners with the backup quarterback or third string quarterback in there as well. There was a lot of moving pieces in that one, but you got it, Moody. Where are you sending JL?
I almost want to say a movie in a few words. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. So we're going to send him over to a Lion alma mater.
Let's go with 300.
300. Tom Brady, Nico Collins, Donovan Peoples-Jones.
Oh, I don't know.
I actually know this one. Can I have this one?
Me too.
Can I buzz in?
Wesleyan.
Wesleyan, final answer?
Yeah, final answer.
It is Michigan. Evan, you knew that one? You got that one?
Yeah.
I get the honorary 300. Thank you.
300 moral points. You are now in the lead from a moral victory
From a moral perspective, I am in the lead.
Albert in here got Michigan. Dustin with Michigan and Grim Fan with Michigan as well. And Grimfin in here said, just put $10 on the Dolphins to win the Super Bowl. Now JL has to stay up to watch the game.
Oh, man.
He tricked you, JL. Got you in there. Unfortunately, that is no points for you, JL. 300 moral points for Evan, though. Before we move on, I wanted to answer some of these questions we got in here. Grimfan wanted to know any news on Ramondre Stevenson and any love to start Colt McCoy if you're in desperate need of a QB. All I've seen about Ramondre is not negative news. I know JJ was mentioning on our last show that he was seen walking around in the locker room without crutches. So fingers crossed, it's only 0 or 1 weeks for Ramondre. Evan, do you have interest in Colt McCoy as a potential starter if you're desperate for a quarterback?
I mean, how desperate are we talking here? Like,
it's Kenny Pickett or Colt McCoy. You starting Colt McCoy?
I'm going Kenny Pickett if he clears the concussion protocol over Colt McCoy. I'm not excited. I mean, it's the fantasy playoffs, man. You want to go down. You don't want to go down with Colt McCoy at your quarterback. You just don't want to do that. That is not good. That is no bueno, as you guys would say over there.
a captain goes down with the ship, but you don't want Colt McCoy to be that captain. Moody, do you have any more optimism for Colt McCoy, or are you hands off?
Yeah, I'm hands off. There's just so many other options that fantasy managers can look into. You know, Ryan Tannehill's readily available in leagues. You know, Matt Ryan,
Mike White. Give me Mike
Mac
White.
Jones, Mike White. I'm like, there's so many other options. I'd even start Desmond Ridder over Colt McCoy. So,
just for some of that rushing floor with Desmond Ridder, hope that he breaks off a big run or two.
Yeah, it's just so many other options if you're really in a pickle that are available in leagues that I would prioritize. So.
David here said a bench boom is a reverse bonk, 100%. Yeah, they check out direct. What's that word I'm looking for, JL? Where conversion. Thank you so much, JL. Or correlation. Look at those C words. They both work. Guys, we're going to move on to our next round. And John Luke, you got that one wrong, which means Evan, you've got free reign of the board. Where would you like to go?
Oh man. I want to redeem myself. I'm going to go for a movie in a few words. 500. No 1930s films, please.
Okay, here we go. Guy wants to bone Siri.
What?
I know this.
What is happening with this? Dear Lord. You
got a guess for me?
I have no idea what this is. I have no idea. I mean, I feel like I kind of know. I just can't remember the name of the movie. It's the one where like they create the virtual reality like girl or something like that, isn't it? Like I can't remember what it's called though. She, we, her, they.
What is your final answer, Evan?
I feel like it's she or her or something like that. I don't know. Her, she. I can't. Her.
Okay, you kept saying two of them. What's the answer? I need one.
She.
Okay, final answer, she, and it was her.
Oh my
God. Was the correct answer, Evan.
That's pain.
So sorry.
That is painful.
You were right there. And people in the chat knowing this one. Andrew got it, Ladarius, Carlos, Dustin, and Grim all getting that one. Mr. Scampers with a great guess of Saturday night.
This is what it feels like.
Phoebe.
That's pain. Pain.
Jay said the brave little toaster. Very close. Super
brave
close.
Little toaster.
And Carlos said maybe Ex Machina, but if Siri was put into a robot, I guess that could be in there. 100%. And Joey said Beauty and the Beast. Are you calling Belle Siri? Maybe. Moody, you've got free reign of the board here. Where are you rolling?
You know, I kind of like the idea about aligned alma mater. So let's go with that for 500. Let's go.
500. Here we go. Tutu Atwell, Teddy Bridgewater, and Devontae Parker.
Ooh. Gosh.
It's 500. This one's definitely tricky.
Dang it.
No, it is. Yeah, you're right.
Evan, you know this one up there?
This is painful. Maybe I shouldn't have done this one. I'm thinking, so I remember writing an article on Tutu Atwell whenever he was okay, so it's like the college and all three of them go to this college, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, well, Teddy. Yeah, I remember watching Teddy. Louisville, University of Louisville.
Final answer?
Yes. Yeah, I feel good.
It is Louisville. You are absolutely correct. That's going to be 500 points onto your score. Moody right there. And Teddy Bridgewater, I felt like was maybe the most gettable one out of those because I forgot where Atwell and Devontae Parker went.
Yeah, it's just I was thinking with Louisville, he went to a small like school. I was thinking like Tulane at first. I was like, nope, that can't be right. No.
Albert getting this one, Dustin getting this one as well. Grim fan with Louisville. Mr. Scamper so close with Saskatoon. And Andrew said Chartarius is the coolest first name. Why change it to Tutu? I mean, Tutu's a pretty cool name as well, though. You can't go wrong either way. My name's Chartarius. Friends call me Tutu. That's a pretty badass way to introduce yourself. And on that note, question from Grim in here before we move on to the next question. Evan, I'll throw this one to you. Who's a better play, Tutu Atwell or Ben Skoranek?
Oh, my goodness. This is not good. Are these genuine options that you have to choose from? I mean, I really wouldn't want to start either of these guys. I mean, I guess Skoranek, if I had to choose.
Yeah, I think that's the way I'm leaning here as well.
Tutu's really not had much success at all. Like, I don't know. It's tough, but probably Skoranek.
Moody, you leaning the same way here?
Yeah, I would. I'm like, you had some success with Baker Mayfield, under center, and Skoranek had a season high 8 targets, about 16 fantasy points. So yeah, I think Baker just going to go with what he knows. So yeah, I'll go with Skoranek.
Skoranek. We got Joey in here, maybe a little bit behind. Said Wizard of Oz. Take it.
Some
Frozen.
lag.
Getting all of them right there. And Dustin said, yes. Simon said his name right. I studied that pronunciation guide after the show this morning, Dustin, after I got it wrong yet again. Got that one out of my system. Now I know it, at least for today. That question, Moody, you got that one right, which means you're going to get to pick JL's category. Where are you sending them?
Yeah, I'm going to send them to a movie in a few words.
Okay,
nice.
there's one question
Strategy.
left.
I like it.
Pocahontas, but with blue aliens.
Avatar.
That's a good.
This is Avatar, JL. 100%. You're going to get an extra.
Well played. Especially with the new movie coming out on Friday. Come on, there you go. That's 100 right there.
I liked Avatar.
Yeah,
it was good, but the way it's hyped up, the way they're building theme parks, the level of merchandise, you would think it had like a similar following as like Star Wars or the Harry Potter series or something. Like, I feel like there's all this hype manufactured, and then I look around and I've never met a single person who's like, that's my favorite movie of all time. Avatar is my number one favorite movie. I don't get it. I'm gonna go watch the new one, but I just like, there's a whole theme park being built for Avatar. That's absurd.
Feels like
John,
whenever like a company pays like 1,000 people to go write reviews, it's kind of what Avatar feels like as a franchise.
It does feel that way. Like they just keep telling us, no, you're excited. No, you are so excited.
Trust
about
me,
this
people
movie.
are very excited about this.
Oh, they cannot wait for this movie to come out.
You're trying to say
Just
they're like the
us.
ultimate gaslighters? They're like gaslighting the entire population of the earth. These mofos aren't going to gaslight themselves.
James Cameron, he's doing the Lord's work out there, just gaslighting the entire population of movie watchers. JL, you got that one right, which means you get to pick Evan's category. Where are you sending Evan? It's a close.
Send him to Alma Mater.
Alma Mater. Some game theory. You let it out that you didn't like that category, Evan.
Dear.
And now they're sending you
I
there.
need some points, so give me 400.
400. Here we go. Devontae Adams, Derek Carr.
Oh, what is this? I know this one. It just goes out of my head whenever you ask me the question. Let me think, because we talked about this all off season, didn't we?
We did.
Talked about it with me too.
Think. No, it's like a small school. It's a small school as well. It's
I'm gonna give you about 7 seconds to get that answer in, and then I'll have to bench bonk you.
Where is it? Fresno.
Final answer?
Yes, Fresno State.
Fresno State is absolutely the correct answer, Evan. You pulled that one out there. It was hiding in the recesses.
I thought I was gonna go like she her thing again and do the wrong one and go like Fresno. No, it's Arizona State. Oh my god.
We had some people in the chat getting this one as well. Andrew with Fresno State, Joey with Fresno State, Ladarius with Fresno State, Dustin.
I honestly forgot
Graham.
for like 30 seconds. I was like, oh my goodness, why did I forget this? Because we talked about this all off season.
And they bring it up on almost every broadcast.
They literally talk about
then,
every single game. They're like, and his college quarterback.
Fresno
Derek
State.
Carr with his college teammate, Fresno State, Devontae Adams.
That's pretty good, Moody.
Devontae Adams.
We got to get Moody doing play-by-play. Every single week now.
Should do that.
Promo.
See if I can make that happen. So,
Evan, you got that one right. Where are you sending Moody for his next category?
Let's go grab bag.
Grab bag. Oh, I forgot one guess in here. Mr. Scamper's got San Joaquin Valley Meth State. I think that's where they went to junior college and then they went on to Fresno State. Oh, did they? What they major
in? Movies.
Oh, movies. Yeah, I've heard that's a very popular major at SJVMS. Also, Grim said, Simon, where's the sandwich picks? That was a one-time category. No more sandwich category over here. Evan, where did you send Moody to grab bag?
Grab bag.
Yes, grab bag.
And Moody, what value would you like?
I'm sitting there trying to remember, how does grab bag work again? I will find out. I guess I'll go with I'm gonna go with 400. Yeah, let's just go for it.
400.
Yeah.
What state is this?
Oh, jeez.
Wow. Okay. Like Homelander from The Voice. Okay. Wow. I'm terrible at geography. Part of me is like, Eric, is that Vermont? And I'm like, no.
What's it going to be, Moody?
I'm so glad this is not me.
Yeah, I'm like, you should be, because I'm about to falter here.
I have no idea.
I feel like it's on the East Coast. So I'm going to go like, this is like Vermont or Delaware or something. I'm gonna go with Delaware. It seems kind of tiny, so Delaware.
Final answer?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with it. I don't like my odds, but we'll see if I'm lucky.
This is Vermont, Moody. You were right,
back,
man.
guys.
Your gut was right.
Oh, God.
Unfortunately, you got that one wrong, but this was a tough one.
Hold your heart.
No one in the chat getting this one. Joey went Washington. We got Washington from Winnipeg as well. We got two Mississippi.
Funny. I was right. It was Delaware. That is insane. I mean, Vermont. I mean, that's nuts. All right, I'll take my L and move on. So.
Oh man, that's the worst. And Ladarius in here was agreeing with you. Delaware and Carlos, Cayman Islands. Very close. Carlos almost got that one right. John Luke, the board is yours. Where would you like to go?
All right, so let's go with easy as 1, 2, 3 for 400.
400, easy as 1, 2, 3. Put the following players in order from greatest to least in the category receiving yards: Garrett Wilson, Donovan Peoples-Jones, Austin Eckler. So the one with the most receiving yards down to the one with the least.
Let's go with Wilson, Eckler. No, let's go with DPJ, Garrett Wilson, DPJ, Austin Eckler. Let's go in that order.
The order it's in. You're sticking with that, John Luke?
Yeah.
And you would be absolutely correct. Nice job, JL. 868 for Garrett Wilson, 751 for DPJ, and Eckler sitting there at 623 receiving yards. Going to add 400 to your score. And this game is neck and neck at this point.
Brutal.
Got some guesses in the chat. They were a bit of a mixed bag. DPJ, Garrett, Ecklebugs, Eckler, Wilson, DPJ, Eckler, DPJ, Wilson, Eckler, DPJ, and Wilson, Eckler, Peoples-Jones. JL, out of everyone in the chat, you were the only person to get this one correct. Nice job, my friend. That does not happen very often. Usually the chat's all over it. And now you get to pick Evan's category. Where are you sending Evan?
Send Evan to easy as 1, 2, 3.
100, 200, or 300, Evan?
Let's just go 300.
300. Put the following teams in order from greatest to least in the category points scored: Chicago Bears, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Cleveland Browns.
Okay, so most points to least points scored. I'm gonna go Bucks, Browns, Bears.
Final answer.
Ooh. Bears have been pretty good actually lately with Fields. Bucks, Bears, Browns. Final answer.
Bucks, Bears, Browns. Final answer. Well, the correct answer is Browns, Bears, Bucks.
Wow.
Bucks were in last.
That is surprising.
They're near the bottom of the league in scoring.
I knew they've been bad lately, but in my head, they'd been pretty good at the start of the season.
Yeah, and the Browns up at 300 surprised me as well. They're middle of the pack, and then the Bucks down at 224 surprised me too. That was definitely a tough one, and the chat agrees right there. Tough. We had Bears, Browns, Bucks. We had Bears, Bucks, Browns. We had Bears, Browns, Bucks, and Browns, Bucks, Bears, and Bears, Browns, Bucks. No one getting this one right.
Tough, yeah.
No one getting that one right.
I can't tell the difference between them anymore. They're all the
Bears,
same.
Browns, Bucks, Browns, Bears, Browns, Bucks, Browns, Browns, Bears. Moody, where are you going?
I'm still kind of recovering from Vermont. Now I'm gonna have to like visit Vermont now. This is.
You want to know my trick for remembering Vermont versus New Hampshire? The easiest way to remember: Vermont is shaped like a V, and New Hampshire is shaped like a lowercase n. So they sit next to each other like that, and you can just remember Vermont's the V, New Hampshire's the n. But when it's just sitting there by itself, it doesn't do much good to know that tip. It's got to be on a map.
I guess I'll go with odd one out. Go for 400. Just try to get a little bit of a lead here. So let's do it.
Here we go. Odd one out for 400. The category is top 10 scoring PPR wide receivers after week 14. So one of these is not a top 10 wide receiver after 14 weeks. Tyreek Hill, Terry McLaurin, AJ Brown, or Cooper Kupp.
All right. So one of them is not a top 10. I feel like the Cooper Kupp thing is.
Is this a bit of reverse psychology he's playing?
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, he's like putting Cooper Kupp in there because it feels like the obvious choice, but then you're like, wait a second.
I'm just gonna go with it. So it's like Cooper Kupp he's got to be close, but I don't think he's in the top 10. So Hill, McLaurin, Brown are top 10. Cooper Kupp is not. So I'll go with Cooper Kupp is my answer.
Okay, Cooper Kupp locking it in. The correct answer is Terry McLaurin down there at number 15. Cooper Kupp is still the PPR wide receiver 9 with over 22 points per game. Wow. This was not on a points per game basis, but it was enough to keep him up there in the top 10. Terry McLaurin down at 15.
Ouch.
That one was rough.
You gaslighting son of a gun.
Me and James Cameron, man. I took all my lessons from Avatar. Andrew in here getting this one.
Oh, no.
Scampers as well, Dustin too. But we had a bunch of Cups in there too. Grim Fan and Ladarius both saying Cup, right in the same boat, Moody. JL, free reign of the board. Where are you going?
This is close.
All right, I'll take the last 500 here. Grab bag.
Grab bag for 500. And I forget what is here. Oh, yeah. What masculine name is also the scientific term for fish semen? Is it Milt, Bert, Earl, or Mort? You up to date on your fish facts?
It's Mort.
Final answer?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, JL. It is Milt. Milt is the scientific name for fish semen and the name of my neighbor who lives down the street. I'm not going to tell him that, though. We're going to ignore that fact next time I see Milt. Got time for one more round if we run through it. And the chat was all over this one. Everyone knows all about their Milt.
Yes, everyone knows.
Y'all freaks in the chat.
Shout out Grim Fan for being the only one to get it wrong.
Only normal person.
Shout out Grim.
That's funny. That is hilarious.
Y'all nasty.
We got time for one more if we run through it. Where are you sending Evan?
I didn't get it right.
Oh, you got it wrong. So sucks to suck, Evan. Where are you going?
Sucks to suck, Evan.
I'm gonna take. I'll try grab bag for 200.
Grab bag for 200. Here we go. In the cartoon SpongeBob SquarePants, what is Sandy's last name? Cheeks. Final answer.
Yep.
It is Cheeks. Sandy Cheeks. That's gonna get you $200. Evan, tie you up with JL, and you get to pick Moody's last category. Where are you sending them?
All right.
Grab bag.
Grab bag. Right. Moody, you get the $100 question. Here it is. Okay. Who is this?
I'm like Tom Cruise in more Oblivion. What?
Oh, I know who it is.
Am I supposed to know this person? That's what I'm wondering. Is this like one of the hosts of Front Yard Fantasy?
No, it is not a host of Front Yard Fantasy.
Wow.
It's just us two.
You got to guess?
He looks familiar. Okay. Is this the 49ers quarterback like in high school or college or something? Is this Brock Purdy?
Final answer?
I'm going to go with it. It'll be very timely, so I don't have anything to lose. Let's go with Brock Purdy.
It is, in fact, timely. This is Mr. Brock Purdy, the current starting quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers. Is this guy right here?
I would never have guessed that.
I was the only way, because I was looking at his face, I was like, God, he looks like familiar. But I'm just like, and I was just thinking from the broadcast where they were, showing like his dad in the stands, and they had so many close-ups on Purdy, so I was like, I'm just gonna go with it. So it panned out for me. I wish it was 500, but it worked out for me.
100. You take what you can get. Moody, where you sending JL?
JL, you were going to go to easy as 1, 2, 3, my friend.
Let's do it. 200.
200. Put the following players in order from greatest to least in the following category: rushing yards. Devin Singletary, Justin Fields, Josh Jacobs.
Jacobs, Fields, Singletary.
Final answer?
Yeah.
It is Jacobs, Fields, Singletary. Nice job, JL. Gonna add some money, tying you up with Moody, but it is anybody's game, and we are headed into our final question. So, guys, write down your wagers. The category is rushing stats is your answer. Rushing statistics is your category for this last question. So write down your wager, then I'll reveal the question, and you guys will take your shot at answering this correctly. Anybody's game. This is one of the closest games of Jeopardy we've had. 1,400 to 1,400 to 1,200 right there.
All, so.
Moody betting it all, putting it up there already. Evan, what do you got? What does that say? 1,200, all of it?
1,200.
JL? Everybody went all in. So it all comes down to this question. Here we go. Here's your final question. Okay. Which of the following players has the most rushing attempts so far this season? Is it Najee Harris, Dameon Pierce, or Ramondre Stevenson? Write your answer down. I'll give you about 20 seconds to get your answer in. If you're right, you're going to add that money to your score. If you're wrong, we are going to subtract it. One person, unless Moody and JL get it right, or everybody gets it wrong, will be our winner. We may have a tie.
Hopefully you can read this. But
I was watching a video the other day of the second episode ever of Jeopardy, and it happened where everybody bet everything in Final Jeopardy and then lost everything. So the score was 0-0 in the second ever episode of Jeopardy. And so there was no champion. They just moved on and brought in 3 new contestants. Dang. That's the protocol there. If everyone gets 0,
I'm going to bet 1,100. I withdraw my review.
Pain. That is pain.
You guys ready?
All right.
Yeah, so it's the most rushing attempt.
Ready.
So.
Yeah, let's go ahead and reveal our answers. What do you guys got? JL said Dameon Pierce. Dameon Pierce from Evan, and all 3 people saying Dameon Pierce on this one. We had some answers in the chat as well. Stevenson, Harris from Grimfan, Ramondre from Strong Style, Najee from Scampers, Pierce from Dustin and Ladarius, and then Ramondre from Carlos. So answers all over the place in the chat. The correct answer is Dameon Pierce. You were all correct, which means, Evan, you're going to finish with $2,400. Moody and JL up there at $2,800, tied for the win. But a good game from every single person here. Evan, Moody, I want to thank you guys so much for taking the time to come and hang out and play some Jeopardy with us today.
Yeah, we appreciate you both.
No, it's always fun. It's great to come on and laugh and goof around. And now I've got Vermont engraved in my memory. I will let you know.
Never gonna miss that one
when I
again.
go there, I will take a picture. Have to tweet that out. But no, anytime you need me, hey, I'll be here. So thank you, gentlemen.
Appreciate you, Moody.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Of course. And Evan, I got to thank you personally for teaching me a new Liam Neeson fact today.
Yes,
that
you are welcome.
Beautiful. That's my fact of the day. No, it's hard. Without Googling like Liam Neeson facts, I generally don't find them
How
very
would you
much.
ever find them out? Yeah.
I have no idea. Guys, that is going to be it for us today. Another big thanks to our 2 guests, and thank you to everybody in the chat who came and hung out with us this afternoon. JL and I will be back live tomorrow morning with Andrew Cooper for the Front Yard Fantasy Morning Show right here on our YouTube channel. So come back and hang out with us if you happen to be up early. If you're on the West Coast, for the love of God, stay in bed and just watch the replay. But watch the replay after that. Until tomorrow morning, we are out of here. Adios, everyone. We will see you bright and early tomorrow morning.
Bye-bye.